In the great city of Lumora, knowledge was the most valuable treasure. The people of Lumora loved books, learning, and discovering new things. The city had many schools, libraries, and universities where the brightest minds gathered to study. In this city lived a young man named Joran Vale. Joran was one of the smartest students in Lumora. He loved to read and solve difficult problems. People often praised him for his intelligence, and he enjoyed being the center of attention. But Joran had one weakness: he never listened to advice. He believed that since he was so smart, he didn't need help from anyone. Whenever someone older and wiser tried to warn him about something, he would laugh and say, "I know what I'm doing." Joran's grandmother, Old Mother Rina, was a kind woman who loved telling stories. She often told Joran old traditional tales filled with wisdom. But Joran never paid attention. "Stories are just stories," he would say. "I believe in facts, not fairy tales." One evening, as the sun set over Lumora, Old Mother Rina called Joran to sit with her on the porch. She looked at him with kind but serious eyes. "Joran, my dear, there is a lesson you must learn before it is too late." Joran sighed and crossed his arms. "Another story, grandmother?" She nodded. "Yes. And this one might save your life one day." Old Mother Rina cleared her throat and began her tale. "Long ago, there was a young man, just like you, who thought he was the smartest of all. He never listened to advice and believed he knew everything. One day, a wise elder warned him not to take the golden path through the mountains. "That path is dangerous," the elder said. "Take the stone path instead." But the young man ignored the warning. He wanted to see for himself. Joran smirked. "Let me guess, he got lost." Old Mother Rina shook her head. "No, my child. Something much worse happened. The golden path led him straight into the hands of tricksters who stole everything he had. They left him with nothing but regret." Joran shrugged. "That won't happen to me. I am too smart to be fooled." His grandmother sighed. "Remember my words, Joran. Sometimes, those who think they are the smartest are the easiest to deceive." Joran laughed. "I appreciate the story, grandmother, but I will always trust my own mind." Old Mother Rina smiled sadly and patted his hand. "Time will teach you what words cannot." One morning, a great announcement spread through Lumora. The king of a distant land was looking for the wisest person to solve a grand mystery. The winner would receive riches, honor, and the title of royal scholar. Joran's heart raced with excitement. "This is my chance to prove that I am the smartest person in all of Lumora." Before he left, Old Mother Rina touched his hand. "Joran, before you go, promise me one thing." Joran sighed. "What is it, grandmother?" "No matter how smart you think you are, if someone wiser gives you advice, listen." Joran hesitated, then nodded quickly. Of course, of course. Now, I must go." With that, he grabbed his bag and set off on his journey, eager to claim his reward. Please subscribe, like, share, comment and turn on the notification bell to get notified for a new video uploaded. Story continue. As Joran traveled, he reached a place where the road split into 3 paths. A large sign stood in front of him, but the words were old and faded. At that moment, an old traveler appeared. "Young man, where are you going in such a hurry?" he asked. "To the king's castle. I will solve his mystery and earn my reward." The traveler stroked his beard. "Be careful. Of these 3 paths, one leads to the castle, one to danger, and one to endless wandering. Choose wisely." Joran smirked. "Thank you, but I can figure it out myself." The traveler sighed. "If you will not listen, then at least remember, sometimes, the easiest path is the most dangerous." Joran barely heard him. He had already chosen the smoothest, straightest path, believing it was the fastest way. Joran walked confidently down the path, feeling proud of his choice. I am sure this is the right way, he thought. But as he continued, the road became rough and strange. The trees twisted unnaturally, and the air felt heavy. Suddenly, the ground beneath him shifted, and he fell into a deep pit. Joran landed hard. He looked around and saw sharp rocks surrounding him. The walls of the pit were too steep to climb. No. This can't be happening. I am too smart for this. Joran shouted. Then, he remembered the old traveler's words. Sometimes, the easiest path is the most dangerous. For the first time, doubt filled his heart. Had he been wrong to ignore advice? As Joran sat trapped in the pit, he heard a voice above. It was the old traveler. Are you ready to listen now, young one? Joran swallowed his pride and called out, yes. Please help me. The traveler lowered a rope, and Joran climbed out. Thank you, he said, out of breath. The traveler nodded. Wisdom is not just knowing things. It is also knowing when to listen. Joran lowered his head. I was foolish. I thought I knew everything. The traveler smiled. Now, you are ready to learn. And so, Joran took the correct path, the one that was not the easiest but was the safest. After many more lessons and wise advice from strangers he finally listened to, Joran arrived at the king's castle. When he entered the grand hall, he was surprised to see the same old traveler standing beside the king. The traveler smiled. I have been watching you, Joran. You have learned much on your journey. The king nodded. True wisdom is not in knowing everything, but in knowing when to listen. Joran bowed his head. I understand now. The king smiled. Then you have passed the greatest test of all. And so, Joran was named royal scholar, not for his intelligence, but for his newfound wisdom. When Joran returned to Lumora, he rushed to his grandmother's house. He knelt before her and took her hand. Grandmother, I finally understand your stories. Wisdom is not just knowledge, it is listening to those who know more than us. Old Mother Rina smiled and kissed his forehead. I knew you would learn, my child. From that day on, Joran was not just known as the smartest man in Lumora, but also the wisest. Please subscribe, like, share, comment and turn on the notification bell to get notified for a new video uploaded.